One of the best parts about the world is that sometimes there are things that just defy explanation or seem to just be out of place, depending on where you are and what you're doing. For example, things in the Northern Hemisphere in terms of seasons are flipped when you head to the Southern Hemisphere. But in the place known as Estonia, there's another twist that very much boggles the mind. Because in this place, there is a fifth season, and no one knows what to expect when it comes. Allow us to show you the unusual place where reality seems to bend with weather. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Number 5. Where does all this happen? To be able to go and experience what this fifth season has to offer, you have to go to Suma National Park in Estonia. But what exactly is the fifth season? Well, in this area, the water levels of the swamp rise to such high levels that they go and flood all the roads and even go so high as to reach up to the houses themselves and submerge them. When this season comes, the locals of the area are known to just go and stay in their houses for up to 4 weeks in order to wait out the season. But what might surprise you is that while this is a hassle to those who live in the area, it's a major tourist attraction. Mainly because the raised water levels are something to behold, and all sorts of fauna come into the area when the fifth season arrives. 4. Its origins. If you're curious as to how something like this is possible on such a frequent basis, meaning yearly, that would be because once upon a time this water area was a seabed, about 12,000 years ago to be precise. The glaciers that were in the area eventually retreated, and the result of that was the creation of a peat bog that was incredibly large. Peat bogs are known to be sponges in terms of what they can hold, but given that this fifth season happens right after winter, the area in terms of rivers and streams honestly can't hold and maintain the growing amount of water levels that are there when the snow arrives. And when the ground can't go hold it, floods occur. And that's why this area has its fifth season. And there are a few dangers that come with that. 3. The arrival. When it comes to the seasons of the world, no one is ever really sure when one season is going to stop acting like it, and then the next season will impose its will. A great example came in 2020 when it was snowing in May in certain parts of the United States, despite it already being very much into the spring season. Furthermore, some areas that usually get snow as early as November weren't getting it until late January. The reason we bring this up is that for the people near the park, there's no true way of knowing just when the area will become flooded. They know it'll happen between March and April, but an exact time is unknown. The animals of the area seem to have some clues though, as many leave the area when the flood gets ready to happen. Number 2, the sixth season. Another problem that these people have to deal with is the fact that while there is a pattern to the flooding and when it comes, it may actually be shifting. So much so that some predict that there could be a sixth season when the floods come back, and if that happens, these people and the animals of the area could be in trouble, and that means they have to prepare for yet another flood season. Number 1, more like it. Hearing about something like this, you can't help but wonder if there are places like it all over the world. And while there might not be something exactly like this park in Estonia, there are places out there that do seem to defy reality in one form or another. That's what makes this world so fascinating. Sometimes they just don't make sense. So, what do you think? What do you think of this look at Estonia and the unique fifth season that technically happens there? Are you amazed that such a thing occurs and that people frequently go to check it out? Do you think that there are potentially other places out there in the world that have a reality-bending event like this? Would you want to go and see it if it was true? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the channel.